Welcome to episode number 90 of About the Cards podcast, live tonight on YouTube. As always, with me, host Stephen Loeffler at Junkwax Twins, Ben Wilson at Our Trading Cards, and I'm Tim Shepler at Big Shep 79. We are a podcast by collectors for collectors, hoping to bring you a smart and insightful podcast discussing trading card collecting. We're live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on YouTube, Periscope, Facebook Live, and now live on Twitch and Breakers.tv. Follow us on Twitter at About the Cards. We're available as a podcast pretty much everywhere. And check out the website, aboutthecards.wordpress.com. Boys, what's up? We're not stopping. We're not shutting down. We're here. We're going to provide content for people. How are you? How are you handling all this craziness?
Well, we're social distancing. We're in 3 different locations, and I've got some hand gel.
Nice.
And that's not related to the Playboy News Before show.
Oh, yeah. Well,
apparently, for what it's worth, Playboy is shutting down their magazine, physical.
Oh, poor people.
All the money.
That's so 1988 of everybody.
It's craziness. Like, I made the choice, told my boss Sunday, hey, I'm not, with all this going on, I'm going to work from home. I have the capability of doing that. And, he was like, not a problem. We talked a little bit. And then as of today, they came out and said, hey, everybody's going to be working from home as of Thursday morning. So we talked, and we have our show here tonight on Wednesdays. We also have Hobby Hotline, which is on Saturdays, but we're going to try to do a couple special edition episodes on Sundays with certain folks in the hobby, collectors, historical legends in the hobby, maybe some breakers, some folks, just to kind of get an hour of content here and there. I did a break video yesterday of opening day. It wasn't super exciting, but we're just going to try to provide some content as much as we can throughout the week. If it's mail days, if it's making fun of Bo and not knowing what rookie card Mark McGwire is.
85.
Yeah, we're going to actually it's the 86 rookie card. If you average the two, 1986 Topps Mark McGwire rookie card.
Now we're talking algebra here. I love it.
We'll have some fun. So if you guys have some ideas, or hey, you want to have a spotlight done on you and your special collection of what you're doing, hit us up. Let us know about the cards on Twitter, or hit us up in the email aboutthecardspod@gmail.com, and we can work something out. So kind of wanted to get that out of the way. We have some super amazing news, but I've learned from listening to all sports radio and watching TV, we're going to hold it to the end of the show. Some amazing. So if you're listening to the podcast, just fast forward to the last 5 minutes of this episode. You'll know the breaking news and come back and listen to it and be smarter than everybody else watching live. But we're gonna have some fun stuff coming up with the show. So let's get into it, guys. The week that was last week's releases: Topps Living Week 105, card 293, Didi Gregorius, shortstop, Philadelphia Phillies, sold slightly over 2,000 cards, and then card 294, Adrian Morejon, rookie pitcher of the San Diego Padres, sold 1978, one off the birth year for me. Not surprising. Wasn't a great week. Wasn't too excited. Nothing out of the realm there. 2020 Topps opening day dropped. We had 2020 Panini Stars and Stripes. And hey, huge shout out to Bay City Breakers. They sent me a complete set of Stars and Stripes today, plus a ton of Royals, a couple George Bretts, a lot, like some tech and some gold, foil, some tribute that I don't have, some awesome stuff. So outstanding. Thank you very much for that.
Also,
that was cool. That starts with Stripes product real quick.
Yeah, he sent it my way as well. No, he sent it my way as well. So that's awesome. I'm going to show, if for anybody that's on Twitter, I'm going to throw a shout out to him on Twitter showing what else he sent me. But I know we were talking about Stars and Stripes last week, and I guess he pulled a few extra sets and sent them our way. So that's pretty friggin' awesome.
Very nice.
All I have to say is, in hand, a stunningly good product. Glossy stock, thick stock, great photos. God, it has logos. Woo. Only if. We got to pause the show. Ken hopped in. He's here, but then he had to go. He'll be back, so we got to wait till he gets back to continue.
Okay. Well, then let's show the pictures from last week.
Yeah, here we go. There we go. Last week, Didi Gregorius looking like Omar Epps, and then Adrian Morejon. Morion? I don't know.
Morejon?
Morejon. I don't know. Moron. And then, like we said, the Stars and Stripes. We also had 1920 Panini Impeccable Basketball drop, 2019 Panini Contenders Optic Football. And we talked about 1920 Upper Deck AHL Hockey, but that got pushed back a couple of weeks. So that we, if you want to check out, it will be out like 2 weeks from now. Let's hop into it. This week's hot off the presses. This week's new releases. Topps Living Week 106. Card 295, AJ Puck, rookie pitcher of Biz, Oakland Athletics.
Good looking
card.
card.
296, Josh Bell, first baseman of Pittsburgh Pirates. Whoa, what is going? You got dial up over there? You better feed. Okay, real quick. Is this not the love child of Clayton Kershaw and Randy Johnson?
Kind of, yeah.
All of a sudden, we're talking about the magazine that nobody ever reads anymore being discontinued. But Bo's trolling me on Twitter, using old Beckett shots, and now Steph's got dial-up. I mean, did all of a sudden, overnight, we revert back to like 1989,
2006.
Look at that.
Good Lord. But no, AJ Puck, I'm excited. I already bought a couple of these. And then Josh Bell, looking awesome.
From nearby Irving, Texas. True story.
Right, yeah.
Dad took a class from his mom at the local university here.
Oh, nice.
Said all she would do was brag about her traveling son's baseball stats.
Yeah. No, he's a big boy. And it took him a minute to pop because we'd heard his name for quite a while. Yeah, we heard his name for quite a while, and a couple years ago he finally broke out. And this last year, I mean, he did well. So it's a good week. So you have Pittsburgh, you got a power hitting first baseman, a good looking card, and then you got a rookie that looks like Clayton Kershaw and Randy Johnson made a baby, and so I'm excited. It's a good week, and like I said, even though he's an A, I bought a couple. So make sure you're checking that out. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and he's a good dude. We've met him a few times. I think we've talked about that on the show before. But he's always been very courteous with his time with Bentley. Years ago we saw him in the Stockton Ports, and Bentley had a mohawk at the time. He was like 2.5, and AJ's like, I like your hair, and gave him a little scruff. And I mean, he's a good kid. And I've met him like 4 or 5 times now, and every time he's been nothing but gracious. So. Obviously, awesome. I have a rooting interest in his career, but he's one of those guys. You were cool to my kid. I'm going to root for you no matter where you go. No.
I have a quick question for you aside. So you remember you had Hudson, Mulder, and Zito?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Does Mania, Puck, and Luzardo start to give you those feelings again?
Yeah, but the potential is much higher on these ones. Not necessarily.
But, I mean, those three were good.
Yeah,
they were real good. But I'm saying if this potential's higher on these guys, think about that. And those were good teams. Those were good A's teams.
Yeah, and the offense. Obviously we had, Tejada and Chavez and a lot of talent on those teams. But the offensive team is much, much deeper. Giambi had left in 2000 though.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
So by the time
Hatteberg.
We had Hatteberg. The offensive weapons are much stronger. So, the upside is much higher. Because, I felt bad for Tim Hudson, who could not get a win with the A's. Not that wins are everything. But you just felt bad. The guy would go out there and pitch 7 innings and give up 2 runs, and he'd take a loss. And it's like, the wins are probably outside of the save, are probably one of the most useless stats in baseball. But at the same time, it's still a qualifier, it's still a stat, You'd still like to see the guy get a win if he pitches a gem, and I don't think he would have that problem with this particular A's team.
No, I mean, you got both the Mats and, some young guys coming up. You still have, Chris Davis that can't throw baseball, but, you do have guys out there that can hit, and I think it's good. So it's, like I said, it gives A's fans, if we ever have baseball again, a good feeling of up and coming. So check out Topps Living Stat for full breakdown of where these cards fall, respectively, in by set, by team and position. Also, he breaks all the news as they, the numbers as soon as they're available, and also when the new releases are out. And 1977's cloth says Montez too. Yeah, you can't forget about Montez, right? So they actually potentially have a 4th arm.
Well, Montez is probably the best right now. And the only reason I'm saying that is Luzardo's got the highest upside. Obviously, he's 21 and Montas is 27. But Luzardo and Puck, assuming now if it's an abbreviated season, it's a little different. 162 game season, both those guys are going to get the Strasburg type,
inning limit,
protection. They're probably.
I think the MLB is going to have a Strasburg type.
Well, yeah. Now it actually aids guys like these young guys that are coming off of injuries and whatnot, because if they were slated to get 150, 160 innings, fantastic. So, but yeah, Puck and Luzardo are going to be potentially a beast if they hit their ceiling.
Yeah, definitely. Let's hop into 2020 Topps Inception Baseball drops Friday, actually.
Yeah,
$78 a box. $78 a box, which is a nice price point for it. I forgot to put some information down here on the packs and stuff, so give me a sec. Hey, it's been an off week, Steph. Scroll to the bottom. It's been a slightly off week for me, just working in 2 different locations. So we have you're gonna get 1 autograph and/or mem card, and then 2 parallels per box. So it's 1 pack, 7 cards per pack that you're gonna get. And I said 1 autograph or autograph memorabilia card and 2 parallels in each box. The rest will be base. It's a 100 card base set. The focus remains primarily on the game's up and coming players and highlighting not just rookies but some of the young vets as well, the vet stars as well. The Inception autograph patch cards are 1 and 4 per case, roughly 1 in every 4 boxes. They have autographed game sock relics, which are numbered to 25 or less, which I thought were pretty interesting. Yep, that's the Gavin Lux one. And then the Inception dual autograph relic book cards are numbered to 3 and have signatures and swatches from a pair of players. And then my favorite thing was the autographed jumbo hat patch, numbered out of 5. And they're showing a new era one here for Tatis Jr., which I think is pretty legit. And I think his autograph says Fernando Tatis and then it says Padres.
Kind of looks like it, yeah. Or just F Tatis.
Yeah. But I think Bowman Inception's always been one of my favorites. And this is no doubt. I mean, look at the bursts of color in the background. And if I remember right, it's always on a little slightly thicker card stock.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, and it's a good looking card.
Yeah, Inception's always been really, really solid, and now that it's Topps Inception, versus Bowman, I think that the holding value will be a little bit more just because it's more geared towards current players, guys that have at least pitched and played, versus Bowman where you could have had that 2-3 years in advance.
Yeah. No, but I like it. I like the young player focus in it too, because it's like the inception of their careers. It kind of plays together. So, fun product. And the 1920 Upper Deck SPX Hockey drops today. $93 a box, 4 packs per box, 1 card per pack. You're going to get an autograph, a mem card, 1 base or insert, and 1 additional of those, like an autograph, mem card, base, or insert. It's a 100 card base set, all numbered out of 349. They have the Shadow Box rookies, and they fall 1 in every 20 packs. They're one of the most popular inserts. The rookies with have a distinct layered look that have a mix of foil and acetate on them. And then there's autograph versions that we can found in 2 levels, tiered, numbered out of 120, 150, and then a second tier 2, out of 75. They're also dropping 09, 2010 retro rookie auto jersey cards. And those are numbered out of 99 or numbered out of 35. So look back to some past release. They have past designs. Yeah, they have patch parallels that have 25 or less copies. And then there's a UD black banner. So like Obsidian rookie inserts. They have Pride of a Nation cards, Lustrous rookie auto patch, and then Obsidian scripts. And I thought those looked awesome. And they have like a white
really
parallel.
And I mean, outside of these last 2 where it's mostly black or white, there's been a lot of color in the background and filling the details all the way around. Yeah. It looks amazing.
It looks like a 1980s rock concert.
Right,
with the lights and stuff. Like that's like you scroll down one more stuff. If you guys are listening to the pod, you need to check out the video version. Yeah, but that's like the Shadow Box rookie of Jack Hughes. In that one right there, you see like those pink and purple, the white lights, blaring through it, like
Pink Floyd concert.
Yes, right. Like I need to hang out with Bill Walton, have some beverages and some herb, and have a good time. Oh, I thought it was pretty cool today. So, what's brewing next week's releases? We have 2020 Topps Gypsy, 2020 Panini Prizm Collegiate Draft Picks Football, and 2019 Panini National Treasures Football. So we're going to get a taste of 2 football classes next week from Panini, which would be cool. National Treasures high-end, obviously, and Panini Prizm just getting their toe wet. The draft coming up. And I'm excited. I'm not a huge Gypsy Queen fan, but for whatever reason, I'm kind of excited.
I love Gypsy Queen. It's probably outside of Stadium Club, and
I'm not sure that
I'm not a big Ginter fan, but those minis get me in Ginter every year. I get stuck chasing them, and I think it was 2 years ago. I really got nailed hard because of that's what she said with the McGuire. I ended up going hard after all of his parallels, and I hated myself for it because I'm saying, shut it. And I was pissed at myself because I had to have them, but at the same time, I just don't like getting that deep into Ginter.
So much like Ben's finding a release that nobody had heard of.
Hold on. We're talking about this in a minute. We're going to talk about this in a minute.
All right, so sue me. I haven't read the notes.
We are going to
show notes.
Yes.
Hobby Hotline promo. And we're going to hit Infield Cheddar Hobby Talk section. Hobby Hotline promo this Saturday live on YouTube, Periscope at 8 a.m. Pacific. Ben Wilson from our trading cards, or about the cards, will be on. Val Mars from NASCAR Radio is going to be on, and Drew Herndon from I'm going to Get the Potograph will be hosting. And we're going to have a special guest. The doctor's in the house. Dr. James Beckett is going to be stopping by for a little quick chat and to hang out with the boys on Saturday. I'm probably even going to pop in because why the hell not? It's Dr. Beckett.
Ben wants to relive his wet shower moment.
I think I should ask.
So hold on, Ben. I have a question for you. I have one question for you. You have to ask Dr. Beckett. Now, whatever he said, my rule is whatever he says goes. Dr. Beckett.
You know where this is going.
I was just about to say,
what is Mark McGuire's rookie card? Whatever he says, we all have to agree because it's Dr. Beckett, right?
No. No, because we can be wrong. We can change our
Wait. I need that on
That's what I'm saying. Ask him today. Now that 35 years has passed, ask him.
See, and I would have to preface it that way. Now that we're different collectors, I don't want to say smarter, but the hobby has changed as we reflect back upon it. You know, is the Olympic set considered similar to Bowman Chrome's first Bowmans because they're XRCs? And I'll be more than happy to go toe-to-toe with a guaranteed top 4 Mount Rushmore legend of the hobby and see what his thoughts are on. And let's just say this, man. How many times am I going to be trolled about this, Bo?
No, I figure he is the final word on it. I don't know. If you don't answer, I'll call in and ask it. I'll force my way in as I know the login. I'll hop in myself.
What's funny? What's funny though is when we had my arch nemesis on this topic, and as much as Bo would like to think it's him, it really is Uncle Rich, right? Rich Klein. And when we had him on the show, we had a very intellectual and well thought out discussion about it. And you know, at the end of the day, I have a ton of 85s. I've got a crap ton of 87s, and you know they're both rookie cards. Just like, you know, nowadays everybody's got 73 rookie cards every year. You know, if not more, when you start counting all the parallels.
Yeah,
you know, I mean, it's one of those things, right? If you could have one Vlad Guerrero, what would you have? Right? Would you have the no number from last year in Series 2?
Update.
No.
Would you have the update?
This one I pulled yesterday.
But the thing being is, or wouldn't you just be happy to have any of his rookie
Mark,
cards.
No, I agree. So no, I don't want to run down. We've beat this thing to death, and I just wanted to. It was funny with him coming up, and
yeah,
the only reason it spurred it was Bo getting after you this right before the show. So
yeah, but my counterattack
Topps total. Yes, Topps total is back. It's available only at Topps.com and includes another 900 card checklist. It's going to be released in 9 waves again, featuring a wide range of superstars, rookies, rising youngsters, and veterans. A new wave of 100 cards will be released every Friday, on Fridays every 3 weeks, and available in 10 card packs. So there's like 15 days left to purchase wave 1. You're going to look for parallels numbered to 10, 5, and 1, retired legends inserts numbered to 100, and surprise autograph cards. I think the legend in the wave 1 here is Griffey Jr. Checklist leads off with, you have Jordan is in there. I think card 1's Harper, card 3 is Trout, Jordan's 2.
Yep.
So I'm hoping there's a Brett Topps total one. He could make one of the 10. That'd be neat. But we'll see. There's quite a few rookies in here to lead it off. I bought a bunch of this last year. Did pretty well with it. I don't think I'm going to dip my toe in it this year, just due to the fact that it felt like it, it went on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And, I'll pick up my Royals singles and Giant singles.
If you want to hit up Topps Living Stat for anybody out there that's just looking for specific players or for a team set, I don't know what teams he's already, committed to buyers and who he might have left. But if it's something you're after and you just want to buy your team, I'm sure, he's got teams left. So hit up Topps Living Stat on Twitter and, see what he's got for you if that's, your cup of tea.
So Bo said he's still bitter Topps total. I want to know why. Let us know why you're bitter, Bo.
Because it's a garbage. It was a garbage rollout last year. I think we're all upset. A low end rollout in 9 waves over 27 weeks. That was super ass expensive for something that should have been packed out in low end boxes. And anyway,
there's a lot of confusion as far as both distribution. And your website says that 3,960 packs sold. Does that mean that there's only 3,960 cards of this one player?
Right.
No, there's not.
Yeah, it's
less.
For something that we all know to be an awesome set. If you're a team collector, Topps Total was awesome back in the day when it was originally rolled out, and it was one of those things where I was super on the fence as to wanting to dip my toes into it as I'm just going to buy the A's. And my dad's like, if you don't do it, you're going to be pissed off. This is literally a set for a collector like you. And every time I found myself buying them, I was just like, oh God, it's been 3 weeks already. And once I had the complete set, I'm like, yeah, it's great. I'm glad I have it. But I think we all can agree it was just one of those ones where it's like, dude, this is not the way to roll out this set.
No.
Yep. Speaking of rolling out sets, 2020 Topps Utz is out. They returned for a second year, but with a different difference in design. Last year was very similar to the flagship design, except for it had a Utz logo stapled to it. As its very own look this year, the 100-card base set cards can be found in specially marked Utz products. In 2019, they came with multi-packs. Utz products are not available everywhere in the United States. However, they do have a website where products can be ordered. At the present time, there aren't any that specify Topps promotion, but that could change. That's via their website.
I would not be completely on board. Let me rephrase. I would be completely on board if they were to trash this year's design and bring this as Topps flagship.
Yeah, a lot of people did. Chris Harris. A couple people that are rather big names in the hobby all jumped all over this saying what a great looking design, should have been flagship.
It really should have.
Yeah, it's great. My only knock on that one would have been that card would have been a lot more solid if where his name is below Dodgers, if that was in Dodger blue.
Yeah.
I know red is the sub color, the secondary color. That's just, if you were going to make this flagship, I would have liked to see them color coordinated with the team.
Team color, sure.
But Outside of that,
Utz makes chips and pretzels, and so I know you can't find them you can't find most of the stuff on the West Coast. Mostly in the Midwest is where I feel like it's been. So no, so it's out there. Secondary market is probably the best bet to pick some of these up, or if you have a friend that can go and scavenge them as everybody's just hoarding food and the apocalypse is coming or whatever. So at least I'll have my cardboard. Yeah, if you choose to, you battle. And also another surprising release this week: 2020 RBI Baseball. So this is a tweet from our buddy at Cardboard Icons. Score found RBI 20 for Xbox. If you guys are looking for the game, make sure it is. They have an exclusive Topps 7-card set inside specially marked packages. 7-card set includes Christian Yelich, Vlad Guerrero Jr., Pete Alonso, Fernando Tatis Jr., Ozzie Albies, Walker Buehler, and Gary Sanchez. It's the 2020 flagship design with the RBI logo in the bottom right corner or left corner, depending on the layout of the card. It's pretty cool.
It looks like Yelich's foil compared to the others, and maybe it's just that they all are foil, but that's definitely not a flat mat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool promotion because we've seen Jordan in the undergarments last year. Obviously, we're seeing the Utz. It'd be nice to see more and more cross promotion. I mentioned cereals. I think we all collected those. Guys that are Tim and myself's age back in the day. Jiffy Pop, beef jerky. It'd be cool to see, as long as it's protected to where people can't steal the cards. That'd be my biggest concern. I know we saw that with the Walmart
side.
Yeah, a couple years back, but that's probably why they didn't do it more than 1 year.
Yeah, no, Tim, you can find these in the RBI baseball game only at Target, and especially marked packs, probably online. But I bet if you hit up Cardboard Icons, you might be able to work out a deal for the Walker Buehler. So you might be able to help you out there. One of the best traders.
If these are anything like last year's, you should be able to get these on the Switch and PS4 edition as well. It's not just for the Xbox.
Yeah, that's where he found it. So just keep a lookout for that sticker. Go to Target if you can make it.
Mm-hmm.
So BGS CSI. So at 719 Broncos for Life, his name's Anthony, tweeted out, got my Beckett orders back today. Oh my God, I'm pissed. At Beckett Grading, there's a hair in my lock, and the Zion has smudges on the plastic sleeve. WTF. Full on, you can see this long black hair just running down the Drew Lock patch of his card, and then there's fingerprint smudges or boogers, I don't know, on the inside the Zion Prizm rookie card.
It's DNA certified. That's all, man.
Right.
So
the hair is the exact reason I would never be allowed to be a grader. I'd have to wear one of those masks on my like you do in the food service,
or just any day nowadays.
Nowadays, yeah, right. But that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I just was like, that's super duper gross. PSA was going to temporarily suspend operations due to the Orange County coming out, and so they needed to shut. Everybody basically had to stay at home. But there was news breaking right before we came on that PSA is actually going to be starting open tomorrow. So,
right, they were going back and forth and back and forth. It's open, we're closed. We're open, we're closed. We're open, we're closed.
So what are the odds? What are the odds that this sticks around? I mean, if this thing gets worse and they're doing your shelter at home thing that everybody's doing, especially here in California, then they're going to close by Monday, Tuesday.
They need, and the thing is I'm not a doctor, I'm not a politician, I'm not a media person. My whole thing with this is that the more of us that don't go out and expose ourselves to this and others to it, if we do have it, the quicker this shit's going to get over with. So let's all be smart, right? And those awesome people I saw in the CBS News video, oh man, we're down here for spring break, man. Let me get the Corona. I don't care, man. I'm here to party. Mommy, big spring break. It's like, bro, you're the people that we need like thin the herd, and like you're at the top of the list, dude.
Right.
Like, I mean, my whole thing is like, man, let's just, if we all can just kind of, you know, the thing is I've seen more people behave, and the friendliness out in public when I've gone out recently has been way nicer. But it's like, hey, let's all just chill at the house. We have so much technology at home. As long as the internet goes down, we're going to be okay.
And that's the thing, you know, it's not necessarily that, I'm young and it's not going to affect me, as they've said. It's the fact that, well, you may be fine, but you'll be a carrier for someone who's 85, and now three days down the line, they croak. Well, now you're at fault.
Yeah, like you go to spring break, and then you go to grandma's birthday, and all of a sudden, your grandma's funeral. Like,
right,
that's what could happen. So it's just like, hey, let's be smart. Let's get this thing over with. So the more of us that stay home, the faster it's going to get over and get back to normal life. You know, 3B collections, like, yeah, man, stay at home and sort cards. I've sorted more cards lately. Like, I've busted through my Royals collection of cards. I've sorted Topps, Donruss, and Fleer. And Score, finished Score last night. Moving on to Upper Deck, Bowman, and Heritage tonight. You know, so gonna have some fun with it. Cardboard says survival of the smartest. I'm down with that. Let's do that. The smart folks stay home. So I thought this was interesting, but now you shared this with us. This is basically a DM that you sent us about suspending sales. So a pretty large Facebook group just suspended all sales, saying people should use their card money for household essentials instead. So I just have a couple questions for you. Like, one, if you're spending so much on cards that it's holding you back from buying stuff for the house, then that's a problem. Two, having somebody spend sales because you're like, in this case, like most people are going to lean towards, maybe I'll take some of that card budget I always have set aside and spend that maybe to get an extra couple things at the store.
Sure. And
cards can wait a second. But like, give us some, because you know how much I enjoy Facebook and how smart those people are. As we're all on Facebook.
Of course.
Let kind of fill us in, like what was behind all of this. Is it still on?
Yeah, you know, I don't monitor it enough to know if it's still on. I'm sure people are still. You got a group of like 16 or 17,000. I forget how many I said was in that group. It's a large group of people. First off, right? You're not going to be able to monitor everybody from selling, but at least on the main page, right? I can't post, "Hey, I got this card for sale. Who wants to buy it?" But my first thought when I saw it was, it's probably a good idea, and I imagine the admin is coming from a place of concern and sympathy, if not empathy, right? You know, hey, we're all looking out for each other. But the bottom line is, you're not my dad either. So if I want to buy, and this group is a conduit to connect buyers and sellers, who are you to say that, you know, you don't know what my liquid worth is, right? You have no idea how much disposable income, whether or not I'm impacted by this whole thing or not financially. Maybe I've got millions of dollars underneath my, you know, my pool out in the backyard, right? You don't know what I've got. But my other thought too, and a couple of people brought that up when I posted it on Facebook. What if I have to liquidate my cards because I lost my job, and now that's the only thing I've got that somebody might want to be able to buy some diapers and some beans and some rice? You know, and it's like this conduit here with Facebook is, hey, Tim, you have money to dispose of, and I don't, and I need beans and rice. I'm willing to sell you $100 Vlad Guerrero for $20 if you put that $20 in my PayPal right now. You should leave it open and let everybody make the decisions for themselves, even if the admin probably was being sincere and trying to do right by everybody. At least that's kind of where I was coming from.
It's just dumb. It's like, well, then we should shut down eBay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or, you know, like,
well,
get your fingers out of my wallet, man.
Well, our buddy
like,
Mark Hoyle says, essentials, define essential, right? That's very subjective. Mark Hoyle responds, baseball cards are essential.
Yeah, I need him to breathe. No, like when I managed guys that were selling home theater equipment, right? Mm-hmm. My biggest line was never sell out of your own pocket.
Oh yeah, that's like sales 101.
Good God, man, never sell out of your own pocket. Reach in and you grab that wallet and you pull it out and you max out all those cards.
Don't be judgmental. I mean, I was once selling high-end retail. I don't know if I've mentioned this story, but dude rolls up in a Lexus, and I mentioned to my coworker, I'm like, man, I need somebody like that. She's like, no, they're the tightest when it comes to this. The next day, he rolls up in a BMW to come back, and I'm like, seriously? And when I told him the price was $2,500 for the bed set they were looking at, he's like, oh my God. And then a dirt farmer from out in the backwoods out here in a Sacramento suburb rolls up, dirt and everything. I was trying not to be judgmental. He wants to apply for credit. And I was like, here we go. And he gets approved for 10 grand like that. And I'm like, okay, then, it's like, hey, you don't know what somebody else has, and it's not your place to be their protector, even if your heart's in the right place. But it's just interesting because you're going to see more and more of it. I think you're going to see a lot of people putting a personal moratorium on. I just can't afford cards. I don't know how much money I'm going to have, even if my job is safe right now.
Yeah, let them. Just let me do it. If I want to burn my finances to the ground buying George Brett cards, then that's fine. Let me do it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we all have to make a decision. Just be smart. And if you feel comfortable for the next 30 days, we don't know how long this thing's going to last. And
sure,
if you feel comfortable buying cards, just understand there might be a time in the near future when you're on the other side. And I think we've all been there before where we have to sell something out of desperation.
Yeah.
And, whether it's, trading cards, the good news is we have trading cards that do have a monetary value associated. And they could always be resold if necessary.
Yeah. So I kind of wanted to open this up. So, like, how has the COVID-19 changed our collecting habits, or like what's going on? So I'm going to open it up. We're going to kind of blend our two shows, the Hobby Hotline and About the Cards tonight. So if you guys want to hang out, come in and chat with us, I'm going to drop the invite into YouTube, the YouTube chat here. So all you need to do is click it, and you'll get dropped in, and you can hang out with us tonight. And then I'm going to go into Periscope here in a second, and I'll drop it in there as well so we can have a conversation about what's going on. So, guys, just kind of give me an idea. Have you changed anything you're doing with your collecting habits this last 10 days or so?
Collecting, not really. Solely because, well, and that as far as purchasing goes, no, because for the most part, I don't really just go out and purchase a ton of stuff. But no, yes, I'm leaving the house less, so I have less opportunity to go and pick up a box of Heritage or a box of this or a box of that. However, I'm delaying opening up trade and eBay packages just because the CDC or who nots recommended holding packages for 3 to 4 days, or a day, 2 days, something like that.
Yeah.
And then opening them up to see what all I pulled. I don't expect that to change anytime soon. Not especially since just in the past day we had our first case in my city that I'm living in, as well as Arlington. So that's out.
Yeah.
It was interesting.
I mean,
it was interesting to see card pulls over on Twitter had asked the question when this thing started to ramp up, and I forget what percentage he said had not been affected based on people. I think it was like 83 to 17. And the other day I had responded to the revised poll, and I think it was closer to like 60-40 or something. I forget the spread, but it was coming down closer to even. And my thought was, the question he had posed on Twitter was, has, the COVID-19 affected the hobby for you? I think it was just a very generic question, if I'm not mistaken.
Up here.
And what was interesting about it is, it hasn't affected me as an ace collector per se, but Tim and I we're going to a card show this past Saturday. He was setting up. I was going to sit with him, and it got canceled. Right? There's a Bay Area show in April that we're planning on going to potentially if it holds. It has Jose Canseco there. That's going to be exciting for me, and it probably gets canceled or postponed as well. And so the thing is has it affected the hobby? Yeah. It hasn't necessarily affected my collecting side. But I think there are going to be a lot of people that are drawing back, and you're starting to see some sellers on eBay, just from what I've noticed, that are willing to take lower offers just to move inventory, which is smart.
Sure.
If it's something that you don't have a lot of money vested in, if it came out of a pack, so it's not something you bought with the intent to resell and speculate on. I think it's extremely important that, hey, move it for money that you can, because I offered a dude on Facebook $50 for a low numbered McGuire card a week and a half ago. And then he's like, nah, I'm throwing it on eBay, puts it up there for 100 and a quarter. Then it dropped to 100, then 95, 90, 85, 80, and it's currently there at 75. And I'm like, shoot, man, after fees and everything, you'd have been better off taking my $50 straight through a private sale. And that would have been money he already had in his account a week and a half ago. Who knows if that card's ever going to sell for more than $50?
Yeah. Well, you remember how we talked about Zion base cards going for $200 last week?
Sure.
Mhm.
They've dropped down in the last couple of days. 117, 123, 158, 145, 140.
Well,
two for 285. One even sold for $81 with bids.
so you remember last year when Andrew Luck retired, and we've kind of discussed now would be a really good time for you, Tim, to buy one. If there's one out there that you had always wanted, even though you can't enjoy his career anymore moving forward, you can still add that to your collection. Now is really going to be a good time to go grab that Zion at a reduced cost, because you are going to see a bump once the economy rebounds and things go back to normal.
Presumably.
You'll see a bump. But that's the thing is, if they sold for 200 last week and now they're selling for 117, are they going to go back to 200? Probably not. But if you buy one at 105, will it go up to 140? Probably, at least for a short period of time. I would imagine.
Yeah. We had a couple of people. Nobody wants to come and hang out this night, guys. I don't know what it is. You can't smell our breath because we're on the internet. But
there is a good question from chat from Doug A. Do you think there are people spending more in breaks being home so much more than normal?
I think so. I think that you're watching breaks and you go, man, I want to get into something. There's no retail. I don't want to go to retail because I don't want to have to go battle the lines and get some product. My LCS closed down, or I don't have one nearby me. It's an interesting thought. I would think they're probably seeing some sales. Some more sales than normal, a little more fierce competition for those spots.
Well, and yeah, exactly. I would think that people are looking for things to do, either on Netflix or learning a hobby or learning how to play an instrument or just looking for things to fill time. And what else does a card collector have? Either going through what they have or sitting and watching and seeing other people. I'm
working from home, but it's just been so sporadic lately as people are trying to decide what to do and what so I've had some more free time and being here. I'm able to do some of that. But Tim Seberg said he spoke to the national office this week because he has a table there, and there are no plans at the current plans to cancel at this point. So they're going to abide what the city tells them when would happen. So Atlantic City this year, the national still looks to be on. I know it's real early, but it's a big thing. People plan out months in advance to get plane tickets and hotel rooms or Airbnbs and that kind of stuff. So, what's up? Kevin's gonna hop in with us. What's up, Kevin? How are we doing tonight, bud?
Hey,
Kevin.
What's up, everybody? How you doing?
Good. Thanks you're our first real call in as ever on about the card. So welcome. I know you've been on.
Privilege. Ben, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm good, Kevin. Kevin is a big supporter of the Hobby Hotline. I think he's called in just about every week of that show.
I believe so.
And so we really appreciate your support both here at About the Cards, but also on the Hobby Hotline.
Yeah, and Ben, you and I DM on Twitter quite a bit too, which is pretty fun. But
because there's things that the Twitter world probably can't handle us talking about.
Yeah, totally. But I would say for me, I've been I wouldn't say I've been pulling back a little bit over the last week or two. Generally, I've been tracking auctions a lot more. And as far as higher end, higher ticketed stuff, I definitely have been watching auctions on that. I've been keeping my eye on like 69 Mantles, which is a card that I've got my eyes on. And those actually seem to be just kind of trending down ever so slightly to where they were, say, last summer, which is kind of nice. But I've been just picking up like some smalls and some things like that. Doing some of the YouTube auctions and things like that. I've found some pretty good value in some of those and gotten some interesting stuff. But I'm pumping the brakes a little bit, but not a lot. I'm tracking the forums a lot, kind of seeing what's going on there. It's definitely not the most nuanced and intelligent conversation to see over on Blowout and stuff like that. But
Sure.
It's kind of interesting. I think a lot of people are in a kind of a holding pattern. But I imagine that people who are leveraged with credit card debt and stuff, who bought a lot of stuff, are probably panicking right now.
Yeah, people have to make those payments, right? Because they have them coming up. So
yeah,
that's why you never with cards like that's been my biggest thing is like I just don't ever use plastic for cards unless it's my PayPal debit card that I have, which is the greatest thing I've ever gotten. When I converted my PayPal account to a business one, I could get a debit card. So when I go to if I'm at a show or if I'm at the LCS, I can swipe that card and make purchases with PayPal money. It makes it a lot easier to kind of keep track of that stuff. The one card I did get recently that could be considered a higher ticket item, but it was super cheap. And I always seem to mention this guy every week is Richie Allen. I found a 1971 Kellogg's Richie Allen card, and the guy had it at a buy it now or best offer, and I totally lowballed him on his offer, and he took it, which was really, really surprising because I had been working on that card for a while, the Kellogg's one from 71, and so that was I found people definitely been more receptive to offers, but again, like I said, I've been tracking auctions mostly.
Yeah, well, you probably saw on Twitter, Kevin. I had offered on the black and white Matt Chapman with the color background. A guy had it for $20. I buy a lot of stuff from this guy, and I offered him 10, which is probably fair, maybe a little low. I mean, who knows at auction, right? But he countered with 15. I'm like, I'm not going to pay 15 because once you factor in shipping and tax, it's still a $20 bill, right? And so I sat on it for a week, and then I offered him the 10 again, and now he took it. And again, it's a matter of a week, but you're going to start probably seeing now's a good time to lowball somebody, not intentionally lowball them, but if you feel your valuation is different than theirs, I guess we should say,
Sure.
You wanted to be so much money into this particular Richie Allen card for whatever reason, right? That's what your spending limit is. That's where you think that card is valued at. Hey, make the offer. Worst case, all they're going to do is say, hey, it's my card, and that's too low, right? But you never know. Right now might be a good time to throw a couple of offers at some cards you might have been watching for a while and see what happens.
Yeah, I'm tempted. Like I said, I've been looking at the 69 Mantle, and there's a few really nice ones out there. Again, I'm kind of picky. I want like good centered. That's a notoriously off-centered or diamond cut card. And I've been looking at some ones out there that seem like a pretty good value with the best offer attached to them. I haven't done anything, but I've been sensing that, maybe making an offer. So, yeah, basketball, the 19 Optic, and a lot of that seems to be plummeting right now.
Oh, yeah.
It's been flooded, too. The market's been flooded.
Well, I've mentioned that a couple of times. We were talking on Twitter the other day about there's certain players that are going to hold value, and Jordan's name had come up, and people are like, well, Jordan's such a big name, and it's like, now wait a minute though, you're going to get some sellers out there that are going to be desperate, and all it takes is the market to become flooded to start to see even guys like Jordan and Kobe and LeBron and some of the more recent guys like Luka and Zion who have sustainable and appreciating markets. You're going to start to see, I mean, if you have 10 sellers out there, nobody's buying, then those prices are going to precipitously drop one by one. And, any buyer that is in a financial place to pounce on one of these it's just like right now in the stock market, right? Now would be a good time to double down, hedge your bet. If you're in a stock at $20 and you can get them now for 10, now you average 15, right? And then if they ever do rebound back to 20, look how much money you've made by buying that down and hedging it. So, just be smart with your money.
I do have a feeling that once we get through this, hopefully over the next 4 to 6 weeks, there's going to be a huge pent-up demand this summer just across the economy. So I have a feeling that hoping things bounce back really quickly this summer, because I know myself, I'm going to be out tipping people and having a big pent-up demand to just go out and get back all of us get back into our routines, going to some minor league baseball games and stuff like that. Just, really kind of getting back out there and doing stuff. So I think now is a good time to kind of gauge and watch and just hold tight and be smart.
Well, and that was one of the things that I saw recommended was that, if you don't want to leave just yet, or you don't want to go outside, or you have health issues and you can't, or you shouldn't rather, buy a gift card. You're still committing to going there. You're just not going there now. Because I know, for example, we have a arcade company here that has a ton, at least 100 different old arcade pinball machine type games. Plus, like Area 51 or Street Fighter and all of those. But because you can't have crowds over 50 or 10 or whatever, they're nowhere near at capacity. So they're asking people to purchase gift cards or what have you, so that they can at least survive this month to next month to the third month. And I love the idea. You're not going out now. You're not risking yours and others' health. But you're still saying, yeah, support that.
Yep.
That is a really good idea, because my brother's in finance, and the thing is with these businesses is all this lost revenue. It's revenue that they can't make it up.
Sure.
You can't make this revenue up. So that's what's really hard with what's going on right now is all these restaurants and just everything. Like you can't make that revenue up. It's just gone.
You're really going to see how many companies operate on thin margins and really don't have a lot of cash reserves. It's funny that you say about not being able to make up revenues, because when I used to sell high-end mattresses, people would be like, hey, I'm going to sleep in on the weekend. And it's like, sleep is not something you can bank, right? Once it's gone, it's gone. I got 6 hours of sleep last night. I don't get 10 hours today, and then it's an average of 8. That's not how it works.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way they can make this revenue up is if, you're overselling when the time comes back, right? So if all of a sudden you're at 150% capacity for the first 30 days, you can start to offset some of that lost revenue from behind. But the question is, was that company, that business, that restaurant, whatever it is, in a position to be able to stay afloat? Do you have enough cash reserves to offset all these lost costs?
Sure.
So some will be covered by insurance. The NBA's got insurance; they're not losing any revenue. Believe that. But the little local Chinese food restaurant that's going to get a bad stigma because of the type of food they sell, they're probably going to go out of business. And God forbid it comes to that, but you can't think that they've got a whole bunch of money in the bank. I would imagine not.
Yeah.
Well,
hey guys, it was really fun, man. It was fun hopping in. Good talking.
Yeah, we'll see you on Saturday, I'm sure, right?
Maybe. I'm trying not to hop in every week on that, but it's so damn good.
Right.
Yeah, thanks. That's awesome. We appreciate it, Kevin. Yeah. Thanks for the support as always.
Totally, boys. Later.
All right, have a good one.
Love you, Kevin.
We got James wants to hop in. James, what's up, buddy? How we doing?
I'm doing all right. How are y'all?
Surviving. We're just trying to talk cardboard and want to see how everybody else is doing out there. So how's the last few days affected you in collecting? What are your thoughts?
Well, other than actually being able to hear you guys live, because I'm working from home every day and going crazy.
Yeah.
Well, I tend to do a lot of hockey breaks, and most of those are coming out of Canada. So my thought is, I get hassled from things coming into Canada anyway. So are we going to be uber vigilant now? Are things going to be stuck at the Canadian border? And will my most recent break get here before my PSA order that was submitted last April? That's the question. That's the race now, the two snails. So that's one of the thought processes. Also, for our basketball friends, now I'm not much in that market, but I would be real leery about selling or buying anything from China at the moment, because you never know when they're going to slap the they kicked our reporters out or whatever. You never know what's going to happen over there. The NBA needs China. China doesn't need the NBA. And it may be a good thing for the NBA in that market to learn that one. But I wouldn't be spending a penny on anything being shipped from China right now unless it was coming through Amazon or something where you knew it was going to get to you.
Well, and it's interesting to your first point with hockey and Canada, in that didn't we just close the border to U.S. and Canada?
For my understanding, it's for
mostly travel.
It's for travel. It's not for goods and services, but still, it's not like. Well, I've never had a passing into the Canadian border that's been any fun, so I wouldn't be surprised if they were tamping down on everything right now.
Sure. And I mean it's kind of a situation of circumstances in that, for example, before we left for Japan, pre 9/11, me and my grandmother would go up to Winnipeg, and she'd hit the border patrol. Hey, Ethel, how's it going? How long are you staying? Okay, cool. See you. Bye. And afterwards, it's, well, we need to at least see your documents. And how long are you staying? Okay, well, you can't bring anything back. Okay, we'll see you in 2 weeks. And, it only takes a huge outbreak for it to get there with this now. I don't see it happening.
Well, I was buying, when I was building my basketball Prizm parallels, I had a couple that came from China, like 5 or 6 that only, no matter where I looked, the parallels only seem to be sourced out of there. And so that's put a real damper on that. But I'm okay with waiting. I mean, it's something that I can build over time, but it's a break because so much of basketball. So, I mean, my question too is like, with the PSA stuff, I mean, they're already a million cards behind, and they've been shut down for so many days. They're supposedly going to go back to work tomorrow, but again, I've feeling it's coming out within the next week. They're talking about not even starting schools up again until after summer, until at least 2 full months of school, 2.5 months of school. Be out. Very interesting time we have right now. But anything else you want to talk about since we have you on, James?
No, I got to roll. Thanks, guys.
All right, bud. Have a great night. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, James brings up some outstanding points about, we sometimes with the internet, borders don't matter, right? Yeah. And now all of a sudden we were going to run into that. So it's just it's been so interesting. Like I can't. So when Kobe died, right? Like I couldn't wrap my head around that. Kobe Bryant's no longer here. It just was a weird celebrity to pass away. The way he did, the fact that's everything that dealt with him, his family, and all the other people that were with him, it just made a difference, like to that, right? And then being a dad. Now this, like, if you'd asked me 10 days ago what I thought about what was going on, I had the cavalier thought, like, this is not a big deal. What are we doing? Who cares?
Sure.
Today, I'm in a different camp. And it's like, now do we get to the camp where it's like, oh, God, have I seen too many Contagion movies and Outbreak movies and I Am Legend? All I'm thinking about is the I Am Legend, where they would do the flashbacks of him having breakfast. And in the background, you see, like, the news. And, like, it talks about, you start reading the tickers in the news. And it's like, oh, the NBA suspended so-and-so's got this disease. And it's like, that shit's real. Like, that's happening right now.
Right.
And so I'm like, okay,
Well,
I don't know. I feel like we're living in a really bad movie right now.
Yeah, I'm glad James called in because to the point of the topic of how is it affecting how you collect? I mean, you take somebody like James, who's a predominantly, I mean, I don't know what blend, but he's predominantly a hockey collector. And like you said, he's buying a lot of stuff from over the border to the north, where there's a lot more hockey being opened.
Sure.
It's going to shut down his collecting potentially for the considerable, indefinitely. Let's just say that, right? Whether that indefinite time is 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, who knows? But somebody like him versus, say, somebody like me who's buying everything domestically, rarely buys any, once in a while from Japan or something, they'll have something I need. But for the most part, I buy, maybe 4 or 5 packages a year internationally. It's going to affect him 98%, if not more. I don't know how much stuff he buys domestically, but think about that. If you're still in a socioeconomic class right now where you're not going to be monetarily affected by this whole thing, and I am assuming James probably would not be, but he can't really collect unless he wants to buy the stuff from Blowout or Dave and Adams, and he's buying it differently than how he's accustomed to. Either way, it's affecting your hobby a lot.
No, definitely. I mean, I went to the LCS yesterday. Like, they usually have like an 8-foot table full of junk wax. It was gone. Some guy came in and bought all of it. Most of it was like 91 Leaf. There was a ton of 91 Leaf, but I mean, I was going to go in and buy like a random box of baseball to open that I'd never opened before, and nothing. It was all gone. And I couldn't believe it. And the guy was like, "Man, I'm just so bored. I just want some cheap fun."
Hey,
and
kudos. Are we sure it wasn't our buddy Dub that didn't buy it all?
No, I don't, unless he did a sneak attack into SAC and didn't tell us.
Because if it was 91 Fleer that Bo would have bought it all. So a lot of it, you said Leaf, so now you got to assume that it was Dub.
Yeah.
No, he likes $89.
I hopped in and picked up that box, but I also got some Allen and Ginter, and I don't know if you guys saw, but a little Vladdy Jr. on card rookie auto from A&G. So
here's what I consider. With all of the sports suspended and now MLB coming out to say that they could skip the draft to preserve cash service time and big issues and talks with Union, what happens to Bowman draft if they have nobody that's been drafted?
That's going to be weird. Then Bowman draft 2021 is going to be off the chain.
Double loaded, right?
Double
Series 1, Series 2 Bowman draft next year.
Yeah, because it's not like it's not like they can eliminate. They can't eliminate archives or something to create a new Bowman product. They're already at their limit,
right? So
they would have to pivot somehow if they were unable to make it.
So James is adding in chat that about 30% of his hockey comes through Canada, so it has an impact, but it's not the end of the world. And it won't spend a penny with those market manipulators that blow it, let them burn.
Yeah.
Another satisfied customer.
Indeed.
Yeah.
No, man. But you know what's funny? So when I was speaking of the LCS, so I told you guys the story before the show. One of the listeners of our podcast, viewers, listener, he was in there. I got to meet him and to be like, "Oh man, you're Big Shep!" Like, he was all excited and told his buddy that turned him on to the show, like that I was there and stuff. And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm just, it was a weird feeling. It was cool. It was awesome. I was glad to meet somebody that's watching our show and checking it out. We appreciate it. So that's always fun. But it's not going to slow me down. I'm having more fun with my collection right now than than normal. So. But it's just I think it's gonna change everything here for a few months, and I hope this thing doesn't go on forever and ever and ever. And we're, like I was talking to my buddy, this right now is usually the best 6 to 8 weeks of sports, right? Because you have the NBA, battle out for playoff spots. You have the Stanley Cup playoffs coming up, right? So teams are battling there. You have the March Madness. you have spring training, and then opening day, and then the Masters. So there's so many,
and the NFL draft.
In the NFL draft.
March and April are crazy.
The NWHL finals, Isabel Cup.
What's that?
The Women's National Hockey League.
Never
There
heard
you
of
go.
it.
They literally got delayed the game before their championship game.
Oh, that sucks. That's unfortunate. But I mean,
So
the calendar is the calendar, right? But that does suck.
So you have all these amazing sports and sporting events, and they're all getting. And I understand, and don't get me wrong, I understand that. It's just like what like if this outbreak had been like right after the NFL season, or maybe in the summertime during the doldrums of baseball, like we have this time when it's just all it is baseball. There's no basketball, football training camps haven't started, hockey's over. It's just baseball. And we've had so much baseball, you kind of get like, okay, that would have been a nice timeout. But hey,
Well, and I've seen a stat, because usually in years past, the only day on the U.S. calendar that there's not a scheduled game in any of the 4 major sports is when?
The day before the All-Star baseball All-Star game.
Day after. Yes.
Day after.
That's right. Day after.
Now, this is the first time that we've had 6, 7, 8 days without any of the major 4 sports. This is like the first time since like 1920, 1910, something like that. When several of those leagues didn't exist. It's just you don't want to say pandemonium, but it almost rings true for everything and how hectic it is with everything being broken up.
It's just so crazy. So Ken's Cardboard's asking, I see the Wax Pack book on your shelf is a good read. Have not got a chance to read it yet. There we go.
The other one.
Right there. So I haven't got a chance to read it yet. I picked up the other day, and that's another thing I'm going to get to do is sit down and actually read a book, get educated. So
what's a book?
Yeah, Steph, you don't know about those things. And then Steph's got his. Hey, Steph, those are some sharp looking paper.
They are. Too bad
got
they
a box
from you.
Oh, what are you doing?
Those were before.
Oh, okay, that's allowed. That is allowed. Well, you guys, is there anything you're hunting down to pick up?
Yeah, I've been buying a lot of Donruss parallels because I didn't think the emoji parallels were gonna be cool, but the Baby Shark ones are pretty neat. I completed the Independence Day and the Hollow Blue Foil parallel sets, which are nice, and they're good looking cards. And I figured, what, for $3-4, it's not the end of the world. It's kind of nice. I mean, some of us have nice looking Donruss cards like this one. Look at that one. Do you have that one?
Or Bowman buyback cards like this one?
Yeah, but God, both. Look at this George Brett.
Yeah, I think I have that Brett, but I could always use another.
This actually came courtesy of our good friend and listener John P., who I haven't seen in the chat room tonight, but he had sent us a couple of notes that were really, really considerate and nice. He had some nice things to say about us as a show. He sent us a box of cards, mostly for the boys, but there was a George Brett in there. So, Steph, do you have that one?
I would have to look. I think so.
Okay, because he said that this needed to go to the co-host, one of the co-hosts. So, obviously, that'll be going in Shep's stack. So I stepped away for a moment to go grab it out of the garage because I had it set with all the stuff that I have for him. But thanks, Sean. We appreciate it.
Yeah, Ken's Cardboard says he's hunting for 2020 SPs from Flagship. Outstanding. If you're on Twitter, hit us up about the cards there, and we'll get your list out. We have lots of people that might be able to help you out with that. So, I'm
a friend.
I'm just trying to get Heritage high number.
Pull it up here.
Short prints, whatever.
It's funny about the Heritage short print. I saw a Matt Chapman listed the other day alongside a opening day one. and they were priced very similar. And I wanted to tell the eBay seller that the Heritage short prints are not the same as the variations in Heritage or even the opening day ones that are going to sell a little bit higher just because of the pack, pull rate. But yeah, he was asking a considerable amount for a $2 card. I thought that was interesting. And but it's an eBay seller, so who cares? I wasn't going to waste my time.
Have you guys been following that Mojo Break _com on Twitter? They've been giving out $100 site credits the last couple of days. Basically, what is your favorite album of all time? Share a pick and retweet for your chances to win $100. That's
yeah.
pretty
Speaking
awesome.
of those guys, they had one show your favorite card in your collection, and you could be entered to win. They're going to randomly select somebody to win $100. And I said, I can't take a picture of 20,000 A's cards. And they're like, seriously, you don't have a favorite? And I'm like, those are like my kids, guys. I was like, for two guys that I feel like are our brothers, I was like, you guys don't even know me, man.
You have a favorite.
I had whatever I'm holding right now is my favorite.
I meant kid, not cards.
Oh yeah, well, this is being documented in the YouTube lore forever, so we're not gonna mention which way. Really, it's whichever one's acting not like a knucklehead at the moment. That's the one I'm gonna go with. The other one belongs to his mother.
Well, it's been a little bit shorter show, but it's just not a lot happening lately in the hobby. We had a couple slow release weeks, but sure. I told you guys all that we'd have a special guest or some breaking news. We're gonna have a special guest next week, actually 2, and I'll name one, and then I'll have Steph do the other. So one is our special. We have a special guest interview with Daniel Tillo at DT4CERO on Twitter. He's a left-handed pitcher in the Kansas City Royals organization. He has a card Twitter as well, at Cards Anything. He also has a YouTube page, Anything Sports Cards. But he actually tweeted out earlier today that he bought his own first Bowman Superfractor, and then he picked up another one, a black one from someone as well. They were working out some kind of an autographed baseball for the card because he didn't want the guy's money, which is super duper cool. And it reached out, responded right away. So we're gonna actually have a minor leaguer and a current minor leaguer hanging out with us next week. But Steph, he's not the only one.
Oh.
Who else is coming on the show
to give us some insight about the breaking industry and philanthropy as far as charity breaks? We've got Topher from Crack and Wax.
From the Crack and Wax. We've only been trying to get this guy on our show for 2 years, and he has eluded us.
Yeah.
But from the Midwest Bureau. But if you guys haven't checked him out, you definitely should. He posts a break whenever new releases come out, and the good majority, if not 100% or more, goes to different charities that they support each different month. So it's tough.
So if you're looking for some content just to go back and watch, like the 5 worst sets of all time, I think is the one of them you're showing there. That was a pretty good one. So he is
not sure.
Well, I don't even know what you're showing now, dude.
is that Topher or Mrs. Topher doing laundry? So apparently you can watch Topher do laundry.
1990 Topps. Looks like.
Is that what he's washing?
Looks like it, yeah.
He's laundering money.
So he's one of the better follows in the hobby. He's really considerate, good guy. Unfortunate Minnesotian Twin fan, but Topher's a good guy, and he gives back to the community, and he's always helping fellow breakers and very supportive of other breakers in the industry. So it'll be fun to finally be able to get him. He lives in Minnesota, so he can't come on Wednesdays, but a change in circumstances made him available to us. So,
real quick, guys, we didn't talk about TB12 going to Tampa.
I know how fitting is that, right? TB, is that why he decided to go there?
Well, I think that's why the world has this virus. They can't understand that he's not going to be a Patriot. It's kind of crazy. The Colts got Rivers.
As was joked earlier, the joke was that in their divorce between the Patriots and Brady, who gets the referees?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, guys, any final thoughts before we head out tonight?
Two quick ones. One, Irving finally got back to me about a opening day card, which is shared on Thingy. Check that out.
Nice. I picked up the Matt Chapman. These are really beautiful cards. Got the Chris Davis from last year. I think our buddy Shane Condon helped negotiate the deal. It was he was the middleman on that one, and they're fun cards. It's something different. I wish they weren't quite as difficult to pull because they really are geared towards kids. I think,
and it's different than just a regular patch card or a bat relic or something unique.
How awesome would those be if they were in series? Right?
Yeah.
I'd love to see it.
Anyway.
Yeah. But I do have one final thought before we head out. I know we've kind of thrown some shout outs to some of our listeners today, and
show appreciation for episode 90.
Yeah. Hey, man, we love all of you guys and gals that are out there listening. It makes it so much fun. All the interaction on Twitter. It's fun for us. It's fun for you guys, hopefully. And we just appreciate all of the support and some surprise mail days, which are completely, flattering. We're just so proud, I think, and I can speak for you guys. I'm sure we're just so proud to be a part of the hobby with each and every one of you and be able to share our passion and stories. And we love, your interaction and your thoughts, and the fact that, we are building this hobby to be much stronger and much deeper rooted than just opening up cards or buying them on the eBay and, cataloging them and trading them and selling them and, all that stuff.
We all have, the biggest thing I can say is from this is that, we've said this a million times. We did it for us. We'll go a few episodes and see what the hell happens. If no one listens, it's just for us and whatever. It's just life banter between the three of us versus the other. And the fact that we're 90 shows in, we've actually, in the heart of that, we don't do this for fame, glory, or money. We do it because we're collectors and we want to give back information that we've seen to other collectors or new collectors or returning collectors. All of you guys have supported us in this way. And we thank you. We have 450 subs on YouTube, which doesn't sound like a crazy number, but to us it means the world. We were so excited to get to 100. We have 2,000 on something on Twitter. That's amazing to me. And then some of the people that have been on the show, we have an active NFL player. We've had Rich Klein on there. We're having a minor league baseball player come on. We've had breakers. We've had all kinds of different collectors come on. People have been published. We've had so many amazing folks come on and hang out with us.
Nick,
yeah, somebody that's worked at Topps.
Yeah,
and is behind the scenes. There's just been so many awesome things from this, and it sounds like all gushing and stuff, but really, I look forward to these Wednesday nights and doing the show and spending time with all of you and getting to meet some of you. And it just, when people say hey, I really appreciate the show, or Tim said, hey, thanks for tonight's show, I needed it, and Doug A agreed, but that means the world to me. It's because it's I know what you mean, because there's things I look forward to and listening to take my mind off other stuff or to take it away from what's going on. And I appreciate that we could be something that we can be that source for you. So again, a million thank yous from us, and just, it's three fat guys talking about baseball cards and men on cardboard, but it's fun.
It is. And like you said, Wednesday nights are fun. We look forward to them. Not only because we get to hang out with the other two of us, but also we get to hang out with everybody that's chatting with us in the chat room. Hell, sometimes the content pivots right on that, right? It's like, hey, now we're going to talk about something somebody brought up in the chat room that was unscheduled. And that's what's so fun is it's like we're hanging out with 20 of our friends every Wednesday night that want to hop in real quick. Whether it's Dan and George all the way from South Korea or people here in the States. And it's neat. It's fun.
Yeah, it's kind of the card show effect, but on the go or live. And there's really something to the being able to respond from chat.
Dudes in Australia hanging out watching us on Periscope. What's up?
What's going on, man?
I think that's a new country.
So, it's crazy. I love it. If you guys have something you want to talk about, you want to do a spotlight, hit us up about the cards on Twitter. Hit us up with the email about the cards pod@gmail.com. We'll work it out. We'll make something happen.
Yeah.
I'm going to start saving up some of my mail, and I'm going to do another Big Ship's mail day and just opening packages of stuff that I have coming in. I have some cool stuff up. Nothing earth shattering.
Just something to look at. Stuff. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Some fun stuff coming through. I'm sorting some Allen and Ginter later too. So if you're building the Allen and Ginter set from last year or Heritage from this year, hit me up. I got some singles. I got some Topps Series 1. Hit me up. Let me help you out.
And over the next 2 months while everybody's working from home and hopefully people are not losing their jobs, hopefully, all of our friends and family are at least in a secure place where they're still gainfully employed. But hey, if you're on Twitter or any other medium that you hear us on, if you want to hop on with us on a Friday night, a Tuesday night, let us know. And if we can, at least one or two of us can hop on with you, we'd be happy to do a collector spotlight outside of a Wednesday or a Sunday, because everybody's got a lot more time available right now for the next 2 months. And let's see if we can get a little bit more content and learn a little bit more about one another, because, I can't tell you how many times I hit up Ryan Cracknell all the time in DMs or, hey, Ryan, you're smarter than I am. And the hell's going on with these Topps Utz? You have a checklist for me? And he's like, this is the first time hearing about it. And I'm like, oh, this is no good, man. Now you got to go do your homework. So you're doing my homework. So I know what I need. I need you, Ryan. And if I do that 11 times a day, then that feels like that was a slow day. I'm not irritating him today.
All of a sudden the checklist was up there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He had like a partial checklist. That he's like, well, there's Matt Olson, number 77. I'm like, don't you look at my Matt Olson, which I bought. I was like, you stay away from. You get his number off the back of the card and move along. You don't collect him. But yeah, within an hour after that, he has a full 100.
Guy's a wizard.
That for sir, and
he's a Canadian wizard.
He is such a gem for this hobby. It's ridiculous, and we need to have Ryan back on.
Yeah, we need episode 12, by the way. We're on 90. Who's scheduling folks on this show? Figure it out, man.
Yeah, but yeah, we'd love to have some. Kevin hopped on tonight. James hopped on tonight. We've had James as a featured guest before.
We're not afraid of it. We're not afraid of your dreams. We'll open up the internet to you. Come and hang out with us.
Yeah, let's do it. And then if you only get a couple of us on a night because it's an off night and somebody's not available, hey, that'd be fun too. Even if it's only for like a half hour, 45 minutes, let's do it.
Absolutely.
It's reach out to us, and if we all can hop on, understand that Tim and I are from California, so we're, after 8 p.m. definitely will be more conducive once the little ones are in bed,
and vice versa.
But hey, let's do some extra content stuff. Let's do whatever you guys want.
We're gonna call a hobby hangout, I think, something to that effect. But James pulled a printing plate out of a Meyer blister pack.
That's awesome.
Yes, Monty Grandal. Nice,
dude. What color? How unexpected is that?
Yeah, that's cool. Just hanging out, open busting cards. So the only thing is that during this, I'm trying not to open some more 87 Topps. I have like 4 boxes up there. And so I'm just trying not to open it because I have 2 5,000 cal boxes. Yeah, I love it. Remember, we're live every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on YouTube, Periscope, all the places. Make sure to subscribe and review our show on all platforms. We really appreciate those. Follow us on Twitter about the cards. Follow Ben at our trading cards. Follow Steph at Junkwax Twins. Always follow me at Big Chef 79. Please share your hobby stories, great polls, and send your questions our way. Keep collecting. And we will see you next week.